motion approving the findings of fact from the solid waste public hearing held on June 22nd, 2015.
Solid waste collection request for proposal process findings. Are there any questions regarding all the findings that were used in making the decision-making process for the RFP?
In light of the report we've received tonight, I'm wondering if we should refrain from adopting the finding E, pending a review of this, which claims that their numbers were incorrect and unverifiable.
Same comment.
Well, there's a question to start. There's no motion on the floor yet, so it's a question to start.
Okay, I assume you want me to speak to this, so I will. The first numbers we received from Murray's were not consistent with the numbers we received from Waste Management. There were differences in the counts. The counts being how many for each customer, or and throughout the city, King County primarily. Obviously, Murray's knows their own in Pierce County, but the numbers did not match. Later on, after the process was complete, as far as the whole thing being approved by council, they changed some of their numbers. So that led me to believe that, well, I can't trust these numbers if they're not matching up to what Waste Management says they have as their counts. And then and I could even have Laura speak to this, but there's a lot of other differences regarding the types of service, the savings that'll be gotten by for some people opting for recycling, businesses the same way. So I understand your concerns about that, and I plan on talking more to this. I have done some work on it. I've had staff look through the numbers, and they have cleaned up their numbers somewhat, but it's not just all about those numbers. But that's why I said what I did at the time.
Does that answer your question?
It still seems like a rather strong statement of facts when they're still contested numbers.
Councilmember Garcia.
I agree 100% with Josh. We've been given this tonight, and I think that we need to take the time to look through it and see just exactly what they're talking about. If, I don't want to jump into anything. If someone drops something, I want to be able to review it.
So, and two comments. This is based on the public hearing that was on June 22nd. But I believe also that we can remove that portion from the findings of fact as well. Councilmember Craig.
Yeah, I would refrain from removing anything from our findings of fact from that public hearing. They had an opportunity to present this to us at that public hearing, and they did not. They'll have an opportunity to present it to us. I'm glad to give it to us early so we have a chance to look at it, maybe even contact them with questions. But I fully expect you to present it at the next public hearing, and then that will be entered as a finding of fact for that public hearing, where it can be changed.
Further comments from council? What's council's pleasure? Or is there a motion?
I move to adopt the findings of fact from June 22nd public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Councilmember Case.
Yeah, I mean, based on the information we had at the time, the findings of fact that we have are accurate for that point in time. And if these still need to be reviewed by staff and possibly our city attorney to verify the accuracy. And again, if there's something that needs to be retracted or changed, we can do so at the next public hearing. I think the statements that are in place are legitimate statements for that point in time, and we're just adopting the findings of fact for what we have. had available at that time.
Councilmember Sykes?
Yes, that's what, as Councilman Cave says, that's what we had and whatever. I do know at this point right now, there's been some issues brought before on some particular customers' concerns. We are looking into those, so that again will be all part of the next public hearing.
Comments from the audience?
Don Thomson, 4166 on Southeast. There's a lot of things going back and forth on this. Information keeps popping up and confusing everybody. One thing that concerns me is why a 10-year contract is going to lock in residents who has to pay for this garbage pickup. And it concerns me that we're locking in somebody, anybody, for that long a period without the option of what if something changes? What, these people can raise prices anytime they want, and being locked in, we have really no control. Thank you.
Further comments from the audience? I thought you raised your hand, I'm sorry, Dave. Okay, further comments from council? Councilmember Putnam.
Yeah, I understand the argument that this is what we had before us at that hearing, but when you call it a finding of fact, it's a finding of assertion, really. Neither side gave us any documentation to find fact for the numbers are right or the numbers are wrong. Council did not have any numbers before it at that hearing. And so I am uncomfortable saying we found as a matter of fact that their calculations were incorrect at that hearing.
Is there a friendly amendment?
Yes, I would therefore move to strike item E from the findings.
Second. So, Councilmember Putnam, did you want to speak further for that?
No, that's just, as when we're saying we're finding facts, I'd like us to stick to what's actually documented in the record.
I agree.
Any comments from the audience regarding the amendment? Okay, further comments from council? Councilmember Case.
As far as finding the fact, it was an assertion that it was $1.9 million, and the staff was unable to verify the calculation. That's the fact that was developed for that time. Now that this has been presented, now we might be able to verify it. So when we're saying fact, we're saying the fact that we determined was there was an assertion made with unverifiable numbers. Now, potentially they can be verified, but again, that would be for the next public meeting. Public hearing, I'm sorry.
Councilmember Sykes.
I think it's kind of a mute issue, whether it's in there or whether it's not in there. So, I mean, right now, because we're really not adopting anything. Only thing we're adopting is findings. So we want to take that findings out of there because we know that we do have some backing up to that decision is taken out. I see no point not to take it out.
Further comments from council? Okay. So all those in favor of the amendment to remove item E from the findings of fact signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Want to do a roll call? Okay, you don't need to, okay. So the next one is the motion for approving the finding of fact without, as amended. Any further comment from council?
I did.
Councilmember Case.
Yeah. Basically, it was stated that garbage companies can raise the rates anytime they want. The contract and the RFP did provide limits for what the rates could be raised, and the limitations were no more than 100% of the CPI with a cap at 5%, and any other increases would be imposed hardship, present it to the city could then work with the service provider to determine whether the hardship warranted a rate increase.
Any other further comments, council? So, all those in favor of the findings of fact, minus item E as amended, for the solid public waste hearing that was held on June 22nd, 2015, signify by saying